Hi everyone, welcome to Unit 2, Presentation 3 for EDSE 673. This presentation will focus on your action plan project, which will be due in Unit 5. Keep in mind that the logic model, which we discussed in Unit 2, Presentation 2, focuses on the inputs, the practices and interventions that are occurring, and then the desired outputs for your organization, your school, or your place of work, and your role within that work. What kind of objectives does the programming have, and what can be done to ensure that those objectives are being met? Those are the main questions answered by your logic model. And as you draft that logic model this week, keep in mind the idea of your action plan, which is another project that you'll work on during this course. Your action plan will provide you with the opportunity to elaborate on the content in your logic model. The action plan will be based on the idea of a sequence, formative assessment, or testing in the beginning, similar to a pretest, implementation of the programming or the intervention that you're a part of, and then summative assessment, a post-test to determine if the goals or objectives have indeed been met. The action plan will give you the opportunity to enhance what already exists in that system or role or workplace. And that's all a part of your organization. So you're really taking a look at your logic model and saying, okay, here's what I'm seeing. These are some gaps. What can I do to fill them? And that will be the action plan. So you'll see here in Canvas, both under the Major Assignments tab and here in Unit 2, as you're reviewing the action plan requirements along with this video, that there's a rubric provided for you with detailed instructions for this action plan assignment. The action plan will incorporate many different concepts, one of those being the complex change concept that we reviewed in the previous video. And that document is included here for your review as well. You will also incorporate evidence-based practices, and we'll be looking into what works resources to allow you to investigate some of those. Pull up the action plan instructions here, and we'll discuss the main ideas. You can see that this document is included for you in Canvas, and that's under the same tab where you can find the link for this video lecture. So your action plan will be focused on changing or enhancing program services based on the ideas in this course. So always going back to those evidence-based practices and really building off of your logic model. This assignment will be 12 to 15 pages of narrative, and that will not include the title page or any large tables. So it will align with your logic model. It's really a deep written explanation of the ideas within that logic model, which will be included in the action plan as an appendix. So you'll tag that logic model on near the end of this submission. There are many principles, and as you can see, there's great detail here, but we'll talk through them briefly. You'll begin by providing a detailed description of your service unit or program. This could be either in a school or in a different area of practice, depending on what you're doing. Please reach out to me if you have any questions on how to make this connection. You'll then be describing the current service configuration. How are services being delivered at this time? What is happening? So there are two different kinds of variables to address. For instance, conceptual variables could include the instructional context, curriculum content, assessment practices, as we've discussed earlier, and the long and short-term outcomes. The performance variables would include the particular curriculum materials used, how are people allocated, the personnel, staff support, what is the supervision like, what kinds of professional developments are provided, what kinds of communications occur within the unit as well as to other units. So we're really looking at how things are now, and you want to include and highlight both performance and conceptual variables. For the next section, you will be describing your proposed service configuration. So since you have discussed how things are working at this time, you will now be proposing how things should or could work differently and why it would be improved. So this really does bring into consideration the vision of what the program could look like. You could combine section B. So here it will give you this information. The section could be combined with B if you would like to have a very large table as a matrix, which is included, described, and highlighted in an opening double-spaced narrative statement. That is an option. Finally, as we're moving through here, we have several more points. So you'll want to address discrepancy analysis and solutions, and that will be going through each of those conceptual and performance variables that you've identified. You'll be finding the gap between the current configuration and the configuration that you proposed, and that's that discrepancy analysis. What is going on, for instance, in our communication, and what could be going better? So if your current identification of the communication is that people are disorganized in their communication or do not have any requirements for ways to get in touch with one another, your proposed system might be that a weekly update email is required, that the supervisor sets bi-weekly office hours to speak face-to-face with employees or providers that have concerns, and that there is an open forum, for instance, a chat function installed into computers to help people to communicate more frequently or more rapidly. That is an example of the discrepancy analysis. You're looking at the gap or the problems, and then you're describing a few of the things that would be needed to resolve the issue. Next, you will create another table, which is the relation of your plan to the complex change handout. So the complex change handout is included in the tab with this video as well, but we reviewed it previously. And this is the handout that will look at things like vision and many other components, lining up for change, and then pulling out each of those components. It will identify the negative consequence of removing those. For instance, anxiety, disorganization or confusion, etc. You'll also be looking at potential pitfalls and an example of how your plan will avoid or address each pitfall. So you'll really want to tie in the content from the complex change handout here for part E. Part F, while we could go on for 15 pages about this by itself, will include ideas from doing what works or finding what works, various resources that we will address in upcoming units. And this is the part for evidence-based practices, as I said, that could be much longer than it will be here. But this is just to show that you are doing that research and that investigation as we move forward. So you'll incorporate some of those evidence-based practices here from the resources that we'll identify in this course. And then for part G, you will do a description of a potential action research process or model that you could use to test your new configuration. Here, we're thinking about the accountability. How would I research or test to evaluate the effectiveness of my proposed changes? What would allow me to know that the changes are working? What metric would I use? How would I evaluate this? You then will add a description of the evaluation processes in connection with your logic model. You will discuss who is responsible for what parts of the change process and include yourself. And then finally, you will create action plan phases with a timeline to show how and when the phases might occur. And this can obviously be a draft format timeline. It's difficult to identify exactly how long each phase would take, but this is a chance for you to brainstorm. There is a flowchart included for you, and it is green. It looks like this, but keep in mind that the flowchart is not directly aligned with the requirements for the assignment. So you'll need to go by the outline that we just reviewed, which is here, in addition to the rubric, which will show you the expectations for your submission. This planning flowchart is just for you to reference to get some ideas. So you'll see here, you could start for action planning by examining your logic model, selecting an outcome that you want to improve upon, reflecting on the current services and what's going wrong. That's the discrepancy analysis. Where's our gap? What are we missing? And then refer to the Managing Complex Change document. Make connections to those topics or those components of the change process and the elements that you will need for your plan. And then here, the Construct section refers to developing the action plan with steps, resources, information, timelines, responsible persons, how to be evaluated in the process, etc. And then finally, reviewing the action plan in light of the logic model. So you'll see here that while these green boxes do not align exactly with the assignment description that we just reviewed, they still take us through the process. So feel free to refer to this as a resource if need be. This is also included in the tab where you have access to this video. That is a description of the action plan assignment. We'll continue to talk and look into this, so please feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns as we move forward.